The Beaches podcast is going to give you everything you want to know about a beach before you go there. I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to check out our website, www.sandee.com. Without further ado, let's get into the show.
Ready to ditch the overcrowded beaches and dive into something different?
I'm all ears.
Today's deep dive takes us to a beach you wouldn't expect. Landlocked Hungary.
Landlocked and full of beaches. That's a new one.
Right. We're about to uncover how Hungary flips the script on the usual beach vacation with a healthy dose of history, relaxation, and those amazing thermal baths.
I'm excited to learn more about this, I have to admit. Thermal baths in Hungary. That's not what comes to mind when I think about that part of the world.
I know, right? You imagine castles and maybe some hearty food.
Oh, we'll get to the food later. But first, tell me more about these Hungarian beaches. Are they really just hot springs?
Okay, so picture this. Imagine swapping out your beach towel for a luxurious robe, and instead of diving into ocean waves.
You're slipping into steaming, mineral-rich waters.
Exactly. But it's more than just a dip in a hot spring. These Hungarian thermal baths are steeped in history and culture, going back centuries.
Centuries? Okay, now you've got me intrigued. Tell me more about this history.
Well, to really understand it, we need to bring in our expert on all things Hungary. I'm so glad you could join us today.
Happy to be here.
Now, I know we're calling this a beach episode, but the thermal baths in Hungary are kind of their own unique thing, right?
Absolutely. They're definitely not your typical beach experience. It's funny you use that term, though, because in Hungary, it's actually quite common for locals to refer to thermal baths as beach destinations.
No way. So even though the country's landlocked, they've fully embraced this concept of a bath beach.
Precisely. It's a testament to how ingrained thermal baths are in their culture. And this goes back centuries, actually. Hungary sits on a bed of geothermal activity, so these natural springs have been bubbling up for millennia.
So people have been enjoying these baths for, well, ages.
Imagine. The ancient Romans were among the first to recognize the therapeutic benefits of these waters, building elaborate bathhouses, some of which are still standing today.
Wow. So when you're relaxing in one of these baths, you're literally soaking in history as well.
You got it. And the story doesn't stop there. Centuries later, when the Ottomans ruled Hungary, they added their own architectural flair, constructing Turkish baths with stunning domes and intricate tilework.
So you have this fascinating blend of Roman and Ottoman influences, all woven into this tradition of thermal bathing.
Exactly. And it's not just about the architecture, although that's incredible in itself. It's about the whole experience, the rituals, the social aspect.
Okay, so paint me a picture. What's it like to actually visit one of these thermal baths today?
Well, imagine this. You step into this grand hall, often with soaring ceilings, sunlight streaming through stained glass windows.
Sounds pretty luxurious already.
Oh, it is. Some of these baths have multiple pools, each with varying temperatures and mineral compositions, so you can find the perfect one for you. And then there are saunas, steam rooms, even massage treatments. It's all about total relaxation and rejuvenation.
I'm feeling more relaxed just thinking about it. But you also mentioned the social aspect. Is it a very social experience?
Absolutely. For Hungarians, going to the thermal baths is like a national pastime. It's where people from all walks of life come together to chat, unwind, and even conduct business.
You're kidding. They make deals in the baths.
Well, maybe not formal business deals, but it's not uncommon to see colleagues or friends catching up while enjoying the waters. It's just part of their culture.
That is so cool. It's amazing to think that this tradition has been passed down through generations, from the Romans and Ottomans right up to today.
Exactly. It's living history and a testament to the enduring power of these healing waters.
Okay, so we've covered the beach part of this Hungarian adventure, but I'm picturing myself after a long soak in those thermal baths, feeling relaxed and rejuvenated and ready to do a little exploring.
And you are in luck. Hungary is brimming with history, stunning architecture, and don't even get me started on the food.
Ooh, see, now you're speaking my language. But first, tell me more about these historical sites. I mean, when I think of Hungary, I think of grand castles, medieval towns.
You're spot on. Imagine stepping out of those rejuvenating baths and finding yourself at the foot of a medieval castle. Eger Castle, for instance, dating back to the 13th century, boasts stunning architecture and from its hilltop perch offers incredible views overlooking the city.
Wow, that sounds breathtaking.
It truly is. Eger has witnessed sieges, battles, you name it. Walking through its walls is like taking a journey back in time.
I bet. Are there other castles that are must-sees for visitors?
Oh, absolutely. You can't miss Buda Castle in Budapest.
Of course. Buda Castle, perched majestically on the banks of the Danube. I've seen pictures. It's stunning.
Pictures don't do it justice. This sprawling complex is a treasure trove of history, with palaces, museums, and those breathtaking panoramic views of the Danube.
See, this is what I love about traveling. It's like stepping into a living, breathing history book.
You said it. And after a day of exploring castles and soaking up the history, what better way to unwind than by diving into the vibrant world of Hungarian festivals?
Oh, yes. Don't tell me. They know how to celebrate in Hungary.
Let me tell you, these aren't just your average street fairs. They're deeply rooted in tradition, bursting with music, dancing, incredible food, and this infectious energy that's impossible not to get swept up in.
I can only imagine. What kind of music and dancing are we talking about here?
Well, folk music is a huge part of Hungarian culture. It's lively, soulful. You'll hear violins, cymbals, flutes, often accompanied by traditional dances that'll have you wanting to kick up your heels.
It sounds incredible. And the food. Don't hold back. Give me all the delicious details.
Ah, the food. Well, you can't talk Hungarian cuisine without mentioning goulash.
Goulash. Now, that's a dish that really takes me back. I actually tried to recreate it once after a trip to Budapest.
How did it turn out?
Let's just say my version wasn't quite as authentic. But it's such a hearty, flavorful stew.
Yeah.
Truly comforting food.
Absolutely. It's a staple in Hungarian households and a must-try if you ever find yourself there.
It's noted. So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I have to say, Hungary has totally surprised me. It's amazing how a place so often associated with castles and history can also be home to this unique beach culture centered around thermal baths.
It really goes to show you that travel is all about broadening our horizons, about discovering the unexpected.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe our listeners will be inspired to swap their swimsuits for a luxurious robe and trade those ocean views for a taste of Hungarian history and relaxation.
And who knows, maybe they'll even discover that the most memorable beach vacations are about so much more than just sand and surf.
I love that. It's about immersing yourself in new cultures, new experiences. And who knows, maybe even discovering a newfound appreciation for thermal baths.
Exactly. It really makes you wonder, what is it about these unique cultural experiences that can be so transformative? Why do they stay with us long after we've returned home?
Such a good question. Something for our listeners to ponder as they plan their next adventure, whether it's to a traditional beach or to a landlocked country with a beach culture all its own. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive.
My pleasure. Always happy to share my love of Hungary.
Thanks for listening to the show, and be sure to tune in next week for your favorite episode about some of the best beaches and beach information in the world.